In today's episode, the Mini in this 1989 all-range Rover Brochure. Hello and welcome to Quarterlight, your car brochure channel, where we look at car brochures from all over the world. Today, we're looking at this 1989 Rover all-range brochure. In fact, it's been a bit of a series and we're actually up to the final episode, the Mini, because we started with the big cars and unusually with this brochure, but sometimes you do, we work our way down to the smallest, the Mini. So, if you have missed any of them previous episodes, I will do a link at the end of the show. So let's move straight on with it and have a look at Mini. So here we are. This is the cover we've been looking at, or the brochure we've been looking at, I should say. Rover, today's cars in the June, July, August 1989 full range for when we've lost the Austin name and now we've all covered under the umbrella of Rover, although we did learn that some of the models didn't wear that Rover badge and were just oddball cars that were unnamed. Things like the Montego and the Maestro, the Metro, and indeed the Mini. I mean, not so long ago it was the Austin Mini, but now it is just a brand upon itself, the Mini. So let's turn to that page. And on first glance, it is just a tiny little range of cars by this time. All that we've got is the very basic Mini City and the more upmarket with a few more extras like full width wheel trims, the Mini Mayfair. And then we've also been learning there's a whole host of special editions at this time as well. It says for sort of the description, the cheeky Mini, economical and glorious fun to drive, environmentally engineered for unleaded fuel, and now is the first British small car to offer an exhaust catalyst option in the UK. So main image does show the main two models essentially. So the very base City, identifying quickly by only having that sort of like small hubcap in the centre of it, and if you don't mind me just swinging the camera over, the more upmarket Mayfair. So they're the models we're going to be looking at today. So we'll start with probably the car I would have preferred. I always like the basic Minis, so we'll start with the City. So here is the first model, then the Mini City, the base model. I don't know, I really like it in yellow. I think they always look better when they're kind of like the cheap and cheerful models actually, although you will notice by this stage, even here in the UK, this particular very base Mini has now got head restraints. I presume was it about 86 when new cars had to have head restraints in the UK? Someone might have to confirm or deny that and give me the actual date, but yeah, but by now we've got head restraints on our base model. Crazy late compared to other countries, of course. We were very late in supplying what is a crucial safety feature, really. But anyway, we'll read the text, we'll come back to these images, and then we'll move to the next model. So it starts by saying, City really goes to town in style. Just cast your eyes over those crayons. Seat facings, front head restraints are standard. And you can take your pick from options such as electronic tune, stereo, radio, cassette player, or even 4-speed automatic transmission. Slip into the driver's seat and grip the sporty 3-spoke steering wheel. You'll discover a car that's both economical and pure delight to drive, nipping into the tiniest parking spaces and keeping pace with the times. So there is that image with those head restraints on there, and not the most exciting seats ever. I think a bit more colour would have been nice to see in this cheap and cheerful car, really. We can certainly see the door cards only go so far up, and we can see the body colour at the top there, but I think we would expect that this time. We can also see the rear seat belts in there too. We can also see some of the graphics there, so that's City in light blue along with that sort of go faster stripe, which actually looks quite nice with the yellow, and that super basic front badge that the Mini had by this stage. Sadly gone is the Austin badge, which I always think was a sad thing. And then the main image from the front end, we can see we've got a black grille now at this stage, also a black bumper. Doesn't look too bad though in the yellow, black door mirrors, and those sort of like small hubcaps just for the centre of these very basic steel wheels. But like I say, I don't mind that, I must confess. Let's move on to the higher spec model though. So next model up was the Mayfair, and sometimes think this is a special or a limited edition, really, the Mayfair, but been out for quite some time. I believe it originally took over from the Mini HL. I don't think the differences between this and the City are as great as what they used to be though. But we'll read the text and we'll come back to these nice images. It tells us, eye-catching style. You can get away with anything in the Mini Mayfair. It's got class, attractive wheel trims, cool tinted glass, that special coach line. And it loves life's little comforts as much as you do. Snuggling you into seats with their luscious prism velour trim, so a nicer seat trim for sure, tastefully matched with the stylish doors and cut pile carpet of course, and entertaining you with 3-band stereo radio, stereo cassette player, no less. An electronic tune system is now optional too. Ready for the off? Adjust the twin door mirrors, keep an eye on the tacho and take a whirl uptown, stealing that last parking slot and grabbing all the looks. Minis have more fun. So yeah, nicer seats for sure, but I don't know if I really wanted nicer seats on my Mini. I wanted more colourful seats for that sort of cheerful style, but nevertheless a nice seat fabric. We can certainly say it's still pretty basic. Door cards still not going to the top, but we've got things like a standard stereo radio now, we've got tinted glass now, we've got a rev counter now, twin door mirrors now. Doesn't really add up to much, but depending what you want, I guess. Anyway, let's have a look at the images. Images show those wheel trims you get now as standard, and that bit of a Mayfair decal that they're now using. Similar sort of idea though, with the black bumpers and black grille, black door handles and black door mirror. Of course at this time there was lots of special edition Minis you could be had though, so if you really did want an actually upmarket Mini, you had to go for the Mini 30 with its alloy wheels, chrome grille now and chrome bumpers, but much nicer seats, as you can just about make out here. We have done an episode already for the Mini 30 and I'll certainly include it in the group of recaps or videos to click on right at the end if you want to see that. Other special editions at this time, the Mini Sky and Rose, the Sky with the blue roof, the Rose with the pink roof. Quite nice, cheap and cheerful special editions really. These were much more down to earth special editions. Again, we've already looked at this special edition on a recent Saturday edition, but again, another special edition. And then finally these ones which were going for more of a sporty look, I guess. The Mini Racing in British Racing Green, and I do like this look of this green with the white roof, and also the Flame with the main colour being red. I've not yet, certainly at the time of this particular video going out, we've not done a video yet for the Racing and Flame. That particular episode will come out this weekend. So that does wrap up the Mini. So quite an amazing range of cars. We've got 2 more standard models of the City and the Mayfair, and then we've got 5 special editions being thrown out at this time. So plenty of choice for your brand new Mini buyer hat this time. And of course, Mini, they were always throwing special editions out there. Usually special editions are usually when a car has become a little bit more tired and they're looking for buyers. I guess certainly by this stage Mini was a very old design, but I don't think it was really particularly struggling for sales. They were really saying at this time, we're going to keep making it while it still becomes economically viable, and certainly these special editions kept it being a bit of an interesting car to buy. So that is the Mini, and in fact that is the end of this series for this 1989 full range Rover all car catalogue. I'm just going to end by showing you some of the images at the end of the brochure, here showing it as a dealership at the time, and some of the cars you might have seen in that dealership if you was looking for a new car in 1989. I always think it's lovely to see these old dealerships and old showrooms with the cars in. There's something that makes me want to go back in there. There's some of the little images of what you possibly could have had if you needed some kind of cell phone in your car. A bit here for motorsports with some delightful little period rally cars and race cars of the time. Look at that Maestro with all the lights. And finally the accessories page, always interesting period accessories to have a look at, particularly this little Rover towing a caravan is an interesting little shot. Here is a great image, isn't it, of this Rover towing the caravan at the Caravan Club tow car trial. Number plate even on the Rover there, E705MDU. Wonder if anyone could check how long that Rover lasted. It tells us this is a Rover 827 SI Fastback, and the caravan, which I have no idea, so I'm going to have to actually read what it tells us what caravan this one is. This is an ABI Award Night Star caravan at speed during the 2-day trial for the Caravan Club Tow Car of the Year 1989 competition. What a great image. Some more little images for these accessories. Various mud flaps you could have, child seats, roof racks with various attachments, shown here carrying period bikes, and then finally shows a child. Possibly on a booster seat, I think is probably what it's showing us here. But that does take us to the back page, so that wraps up this brochure. I'll just show you the date finally. There it is, written on one side, publication number 4066, June, July, August 1989. So there we go, the end of this Rover all-car range. So let me know your memories of minis if you have any. A lot of people's first cars, of course. But more than that, please tell me what is your favourite car from this brochure if you've been following this series for this 1989 all-model Rover. Which model would you have picked? For some reason I want a Maestro or an MG Maestro Turbo is what I'm thinking I want. Let me know what you think, what your choice is, but we'll wrap this one up by saying please do consider subscribing if you've not already done so. It really keeps you in touch with the channel. Click that little bell, it tells you when new episodes arrive. Decided to end on my pick, the car I feel like I want, the MG Maestro Turbo. Never driven one, but I'm sure they're a lot of fun. And like I've said before, I know some people don't, but I really like the design of the Maestro. There's something about it. But thank you so much for watching today. Please do come back again soon. All the best. Take care and goodbye.